All right, so you want to get a grip on Psalm 99, huh? From the New Living Translation. That's what we're diving into today.
Anar.
Yeah, it's like you want to fast track your knowledge of this psalm, right? And the world it came from. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Kind of like a deep dive.
Yeah, a deep dive into it.
Yeah, and we're going to be focusing on some key ideas here, right? Like, what does this tell us about the relationship between, well, the divine God and us, humanity?
Exactly.
And then there's this huge emphasis on holiness and justice. We're going to try to unpack all that.
Yeah, and we should probably say up front, I mean, we are talking about a psalm here,
Right, yeah.
a sacred song or poem, and it is fully praise and really trying to understand the nature of God. So we're going to distill some insights, focusing on that relationship, God and humanity. And then, like you said, those core concepts, holiness and justice.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. Verse 1. The Lord is king. Let the nations tremble. He sits on his throne between the cherubim. Let the whole earth quake.
Wow. I know, right?
Talk about an attention grabber.
Right off the bat, you get this overwhelming sense of power. I mean, the image is so vivid, isn't it?
It is.
God on his throne, and then just nations are trembling. The earth itself is quaking. It's not just about God being present. It's about his absolute rule.
Yeah, like he has this tangible impact on the whole world.
On everything.
Okay, so then verse 2 kind of zooms in on a location. The Lord sits in majesty in Jerusalem, exalted above all the nations. Why Jerusalem? What's the significance there?
Well, Jerusalem, sometimes called Zion, that was like the heart of worship, the place where God was believed to dwell. So it's taking that universal power we were just talking about
Yeah.
and connecting it to this specific place on earth. Like, this is important.
Gotcha. So then we get to verse 3. Let them praise your great and awesome name. Your name is holy. Now, this whole idea of God's name, it's treated with such importance. You see that in lots of religious traditions, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Back then, a name wasn't just a label. It was almost like the essence of a person. So when they call God's name great, awesome, holy,
Yeah.
it's highlighting this incredibly profound and sacred nature of his being. It's something to be respected, praised, and holy. That means it's set apart, pure, something we can't even fully grasp.
Right. Okay, so verse 4 switches gears a bit. Mighty King, lover of justice, you have established fairness. You have acted with justice and righteousness throughout Israel. I'm seeing this connection between power and like a moral quality now. How do those relate here?
It's really interesting. It doesn't just say God is just, it says he loves justice.
Oh, okay.
Lots of rulers were powerful back then.
Yeah.
But this verse is saying God's authority is rooted in doing what's right, what's fair. It's a moral foundation. And that changes how people are supposed to act.
Towards God, towards each other.
Exactly.
Okay. And then verse 5 says, exalt the Lord our God, bow low before his feet, for he is holy. I feel like that holiness is a big theme here.
Yeah, it keeps coming back, doesn't it? And that's intentional.
Right.
It's saying recognizing God's sacredness, his just rule, that should lead to reverence, to exalting him.
Yeah. Then verse 6 gives us some examples. Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel also called on his name. They cried to the Lord for help, and he answered them. Sounds like they had a pretty direct connection.
Right. You've got Moses the lawgiver, Aaron the high priest, Samuel the prophet. These were major figures, and they all had this direct line to God, and he answered their calls. Like, there's a relationship there.
And it continues in verse 7. He spoke to Israel from the pillar of cloud, and they followed the laws and decrees he gave them, God actively guiding them.
Yeah, that pillar of cloud was a powerful symbol, right? It showed God's presence, his leadership, especially at this important time for the Israelites. So it's saying God is giving direction and people are expected to follow.
Okay, now verse 8 adds another layer. O Lord our God, you answered them. You were a forgiving God to them, but you punished them when they went wrong.
This is interesting, right? Because it's talking about forgiveness, but also accountability.
It is. And that's something we grapple with all the time, don't we?
Like in our own lives.
Yeah, how do you balance grace and accountability?
Right.
Well, the psalm says God is both merciful and just. He forgives, but he also holds people responsible. It's not one or the other, it's both.
I see. And then we get to verse 9, the final verse. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy mountain in Jerusalem, for the Lord our God is holy. A powerful ending, bringing it all together.
Right back to those core ideas.
Yeah.
One last call to worship this holy, just God, and it emphasizes Jerusalem as the center of that worship. It's a really strong summary of the whole song.
So in a nutshell, Psalm 99 is about God's powerful but just rule, his holiness, how people are supposed to respond to that.
And it all takes place within this specific historical context. Right, but even though it's an ancient text, it still has so much to say about faith, about our relationship with God.
Absolutely.
It really makes you think,
Yeah.
especially that balance of justice and forgiveness we talked about. Like, how does that apply to us today? To how we understand authority, accountability, whether it's in our personal lives or even, in society as a whole. Definitely something to ponder.
It is.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
My pleasure.